Welcome back to the finale of What If Obi-Wan Died With Satine. Thank you to all of you who watched either of the first two parts of this video. To recap what happened in those episodes in the event you haven't seen them, Anakin and Ahsoka have been on a rampage after the death of Obi-Wan, and after Maul and Savage had initially slipped from their grasp, they team up with Asajj Ventress to take down Count Dooku. But in his place, Barriss Offee had been keen to replace him as the newest member of the Sith, and Plo Koon is tasked with tracking her, whilst Anakin and Ahsoka have unfinished business on Dathomir. The two Jedi had expected themselves to be greeted by a clan of Night Sisters, but to their disappointment, they find mounds of fallen bodies with lightsaber wounds through their torsos. Slowly navigating to the Night Sisters' former encampment, the figures of Maul and Savage rise up from the opposing swamps in an attempt to ambush them, but the Jedi use their new dark side powers to choke the Zabraks. Struggling to breathe through their constricting throats, the soothing voice of Mother Talzin stepped out from the mist and ordered the Jedi to stop their violence, suggesting that they could work together. The Jedi lowered their grasp just as they received a transmission from Coruscant that General Grievous had attacked the galactic city, and Anakin decided that they should fly in separate ships to defeat Grievous. Along their journey, the Jedi discovered that Plo Koon had successfully tracked down Barriss, who revealed that the Sith was indeed on Coruscant. The skies above the planet are far from the former Republic dominance, and weaving through the Separatist fire, the Jedi see the starfighters of Windu and Yoda heading for the ship of General Grievous, so Maul and Savage decide they should join them, whilst Anakin and Ahsoka try to find the Sith Lord. Diving to the ground below, the Jedi land in the centre of the Senate District, when Anakin is greeted by a group of Republic senators, who had escaped the attack on the Senate building. Padme states that Palpatine had disappeared in the chaos, and asks the Jedi to find him, so they ride a gunship into his office. The Jedi see the Supreme Chancellor seated comfortably in his chair, and greeting Anakin in his usual amicable manner, he begins to draw them further to the dark side of the Force. Promising them more power than the Jedi, who had restricted their training, Anakin does not accept the offer, rather ignited his blade, telling Ahsoka to gather the clone troopers to prepare for any complications. Palpatine reluctantly ignited his blade, hoping Anakin would change his mind, and doing just enough to keep Anakin away from him. The Sith Lord uses his secret weapon by telling the Jedi Knight that he had foreseen Padme would be in danger. Anakin lowered his blade, and Palpatine cackled into the night sky of Coruscant as the Jedi Knight bowed to his teachings, before he received a report that Grievous had been dealt with from Mace Windu. Ordering his new apprentice to begin the purge of the Jedi, Anakin looked out onto the floor below and saw his Padawan, realising that she was in danger. Pretending to be Palpatine's apprentice for now, Anakin told his master he did not require the assistance of the clones, and jumped alongside his Padawan to inform her that Palpatine was the Sith Lord, and this was their opportunity to fulfill their revenge. From above them, the rusty freighter Maul and Savage landed in between the former Jedi and the clone troopers, and pointed at the office as their next target. The Sith Lord had just been about to execute Order 66, when he is greeted by two of his most irritating enemies in Maul and Savage. Sidious did not require a new apprentice, and roaring in a blaze of fury, he forcefully pushed the brothers into the walls of the office, and impaled them. Outside of the office, Anakin and Ahsoka had been observing the events that had taken place, feeling enraged that their vengeance on Maul had been taken away from them by Sidious. Ahsoka impatiently rushed for an attack against the orders of her master, and Sidious pushed her out with a powerful lightning attack, leaving Anakin to try and hold her in the air with the Force. The Sith Lord pointed his lightsaber at his failed apprentice, until the Jedi Council rushed in and calmly incapacitated the Sith Lord, then lifted Anakin and Ahsoka before they fell into the streets of the city. With Palpatine and the Sith gone, Anakin and Ahsoka completed their revenge for the death of Obi-Wan, and for their role in defeating the dark side, they are offered the rank of Jedi Master and Knight respectively, but decide against it, feeling that they had fallen too far from the light. Beginning their next adventure, many Jedi follow their path, having witnessed the failure of their order throughout the Clone War, and Anakin and Ahsoka have to restructure the Senate with Padme. Creating a new order of Force users across the galaxy, this faction would become the protectors of the Republic, and the clone troopers are largely decommissioned, following an investigation into its true purpose. Building a statue of Obi-Wan in front of the Academy to honour the Jedi Master, his legacy would live for generations of Force sensitives. That is it for What If Obi-Wan Died With Satine. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.